Princess Satyabhama had vowed that she would marry the prince who would answer her 10 questions correctly and defeat him in the game of dice. Otherwise, she would remain a virgin for life. She thought that God had not created a man for her. But then one day something happened that had never happened before. Satyabhama, the daughter of King Bajrasan of Medinipur, was famous in the state for her beauty. Princess Satyabhama was so beautiful that even the angels of heaven seemed weak before her. When she passed through the lanes of the palace, her silky veil's light touch would smell in the air. God had also given Princess Satyabhama the quality of beauty, as well as the quality of mindlessness. The queen was not only a queen of beauty, but also a miraculous representation of qualities. Now, where all this happens, there is no place for pride and ego. This is not possible. Princess Satyabhama had vowed that the prince who answers 10 questions correctly and defeats her in the game of dice, she will marry him. Otherwise, she will remain a virgin and finally be satisfied with the thought that God did not make a man equal to her. No man worthy of her was born in the whole world. Princess Satyabhama had another rule that a prince who could not answer her questions would never be able to go out. He would have to be a prisoner of life. She did not want a prince to just look at her beauty and come to her. The prince was a man of integrity. Once he knew that he was a prince, he was a man of integrity. Despite the strict rules, many princes considered themselves intelligent and took the princess test. And as a result, they all became his prisoners. But then one day, something happened that had never happened before. A prince somehow managed to escape from his prison and escape successfully. He started wandering here and there in the jungle. And while wandering, he began to hum. "Oh Lord, either lift me up or let me see Princess Satyabhama. I don't want such a life. This may well be a very good one." The prince was in a state of anxiety and was wandering aimlessly. One day, he reached out to the city of Chandravati. At that very moment, the King Veersen, too, came out hunting. The prince was also in a state of anxiety and was wandering aimlessly. The King Veersen heard his words of separation and came to him. He saw his state and asked, "What is the problem that you are so anxious about?" The prince replied. The prince said, "Do not ask me how I am doing. My life is about to end. I can only see him everywhere." Hearing the prince, the king realized that this young man had fallen in love with a woman. He told the prince patiently, "Friend, tell me all the problems of your heart. I will try to fulfill the desire of your mind." Hearing the words of King Veersen, the prince told the king everything about himself. Hearing everything, King Veersen said, "Do not worry, friend." King Veersen said, "Do not worry, friend. I will definitely find a solution for you." And I took him with me to the palace. Before moving on to the story, let me tell you all about King Veersen. King Veersen was a very kind and benevolent king of Chandravati Nagar. He was a disciple of Guru Gorakhnath. At one time, he did a lot of service to Guru Gorakhnath. Being pleased with the king's service, Guru Gorakhnath gave him a parrot named Hiraman, who could speak. The parrot was a great scholar. King Veersen did not do anything without asking the parrot. King Veersen took the prince to the palace and came to the parrot himself and told him about the prince's condition. The parrot called the prince to him and said, "Oh friend, why do you lose your life because of that woman? She has only the outer shine of the form, and inside she is the substance of poison. Ganamat yehi hai ki ap wahan safal hoge or agar furbi tumhara dil nahi man raha tomeri kathasuno. Vardwan nagarmi ekpatan reda the. Uski stri badi hai sundar tatha rupwan ti. Lekin wo cheritrahin ti. Astri ka ek beta the. Striki gav kahai ek chandel vyakti baravesi yari ti. Jab patan mazdori karn jada. Tab barav ada or uski soth aish karda. Jab patan ka ain ka same hoda. Tab wo wahan esi nikal jada. Ek dina stri ka latga yisabdek lida hai. And when his father came to Patan, he told him the whole story. When Patan came to know of this, he became furious. In his anger, he beat up his wife. One day, Patan had gone to work. Then Bhairav came to him and asked, "What is the matter? You look very sad today." The woman said, "My son has seen the state of you and me," and told his father, "Ab Marapati Mui Bahut Martapita Hai, fair of Kuch Sakti Hai Bola, Apni bet ka galagant kar mardal. Taki tir herde ka duk samat hoje. Apni ashik ki bat sun. Us istri eni kamdev kavashi bud hoker. Apni bet ko mardala. Jab patan mezdori karka wapazaya. Toa chilla chilla kar pukarn lagi. Koi bacheo. Is zalim eni mir lail ko mardala. Hi mara lail. When he heard the woman's cry, many people in the neighborhood rushed to him and asked, "What happened?" Then the cunning woman said, "My son was being stubborn for money. So this heartless man got angry and killed him." Hearing this, the watchman took the two to the king. The woman said the same thing to the king. The king asked, "Was there any witness or witness at that time?" The woman who saw all this said, "Your Majesty, a man named Barav was standing there." The king called Barav and asked him, and he testified according to what his lover had said. Hearing this, the king hanged the patan. Saying this, Hiraman said, "O prince, there is no trust in women. You are lucky that you got a chance to run away from the palace of Princess Satyabhama. Do not get your neck stuck again." The prince said, "O Hiraman parrot, even if my life is lost, but at least for once, let me get Princess Satyabhama." Saying this, he began to take deep breaths. Seeing this state of his, King Virsan said, "O Hiraman, until he does not get that woman, his pain will not go away, and it is forbidden for me to eat and drink. I will go there myself and try to answer 10 questions of Princess Satyabhama." He started preparing to go to Medinipur to answer 10 questions of the queen. Then his smart parrot said, "Wait, your majesty, I don't know if there is a city named Medinipur or not. I don't know if there is a princess named Satyabhama or not. Your majesty, the wise thing to do is to let me go first. If everything goes well, then you can go without a doubt." King Virsen thought the parrot was right. The parrot Hiraman thought for a while and said, "Your majesty, do one more thing. Put all kinds of diamonds and pearls in my wings." King Virsan did just that and decorated the parrot nicely and bid him farewell. After flying for many days, Hiraman reached Medinipur. The princess sat on the roof of Satyabhama's palace. When Satyabhama looked at the parrot, he was also amazed to see its beauty. He had never seen such a beautiful parrot with diamond feathers. The princess said, "O parrot, from which country have you come? And to which country will you go? What is your purpose of coming here?" The parrot said, "O queen, the king of Chandravati Nagar, I just came to find out if there really is a Medinipur Nagar and Princess Satyabhama or not. But, O queen, I want to ask you one thing. Tell me the truth. Why are you so sad? What sin have you committed?" Hearing the parrot, Princess Satyabhama was surprised. She thought to herself, "This is not a parrot, but a prince. He has come to take my secret as a parrot with a mantra. I should catch him and kill him." The queen thought this and said, "All people are sinners from birth who come to this world. I did not find any pleasure in having this body. O King Suva, I sent Brahmins to many countries to find a groom, but I did not find a match for anyone." The parrot listened to the princess and said, "O princess, just as you are beautiful and attractive, so is my king. The Creator has made you a couple, so come with me." Princess Satyabhama heard the parrot and said, "O parrot, you are right. I believe you. The Creator has shown mercy. Now you come to me. Tell me, who is that king and where does he live? Take my ring and get me married to him. I will be his servant and see him for many lifetimes." The parrot said, "I will not come to you. You are a deceitful woman. I have heard that you trap people." The princess said, "I am telling the truth. I am ready to go with you. He is God's witness. You come to me. I will be your guest. Why are you afraid of me? Take me with you as your maid." The parrot believed the princess' promise. He flew and went to her. The princess immediately caught the parrot and said with a fake smile, "Hey maid, bring the knife quickly and cut off his head. He is not a parrot. He is a big sinner. The one who has come to know my secret by doing mantra tantra." The parrot was now regretting that why did he believe the princess. He started thinking of a way to escape. The parrot trapped in the princess's net was in a panic. He thought it was good that he had seen everything. Then why did he unnecessarily get entangled in unnecessary questions and answers from the princess? He had to go straight and tell the king. And then she, or this princess, got herself in trouble. She thought she had to come up with a plan. Otherwise, this witch will not spare me alive. The parrot said, "O Queen, my name is Hiram the parrot. I am not an impostor. In fact, this is my real form. If you let me go, I can teach you Tantra and thought. I am Giri Vishwanath's disciple." The princess said, "If this is the case, then tell me the mantra quickly. Otherwise, I will pluck your wings right now." The parrot said, "O Queen, mantras are not told in front of everyone. Ask your maids to leave from here. I cannot teach you mantras in front of everyone. It is something to be told in the ear." The princess listened to the parrot and immediately sent all her maids away. After the maids left, when the princess bowed her head to listen to the mantra, the parrot slapped her on the cheek. But she slapped back. Princess Satyabhama fell to the ground, screaming and trembling. Until she could understand anything, the parrot flew away and sat in the window again. In a fit of rage, the princess called out to her maid and said, "Bring the king quickly to hunt this wicked parrot." By the time the maid brought the cage, the parrot had flown away. After flying for a few days, he came to King Veersan and said, "O king, a woman's beauty is worth seeing in her youth. The prince is absolutely right that if someone sees her once, he will never let go of her charm. But, O king, her nature turned out to be false. First, she caressed me, called me close to her and held me, and then she tried to kill me. Gorakhnath, I somehow managed to escape." Hearing all this, Raja Veersan congratulates him and says, "Hiraman, you did a great job. Now you don't worry. I will deal with that princess myself." The next day, Raja tied his weapons, took the parrot in his hand, and rode on a horse towards the city of Princess Satyabhama. After a few days of travel, King Veersan reached the city of Medinipur. Upon reaching there, he asked the guards to inform the princess. When the maids informed the princess of the arrival of King Veersan, Satyabhama said, "Is she well aware of all my conditions? If she is, then let her stay in the guest house respectfully." The servants, as per the princess's instructions, made the king drink water and made him stay. At night, the queen sat down and ordered the soldiers to call King Veersan in front of her. King Veersan, Raja Veersan Rajkumari sat in front of Satyabhama. Rajkumari said, "If you answer my 10 questions correctly and defeat me in the game of dice, then I will be yours. If you do not do this, then you will have to be my prisoner forever." Raja said, "Start your questions, Rajkumari. I am ready." The princess said, "All right, tell me, my lord, which pond is without water, which tree is without branches, which bird is without wings, and which death is without time?" King Veersan started answering Guru Gorakhnath while meditating. "Listen, princess, there are eyes that are a pond without water. There is death that is a tree without branches. Jeev hai jo bina pank kapakshi hai, jiska koi barosa nahi kab of jay, or neend hai, jo bina same ki moth hai. Rajkumari any dusra prashna kiya, count tapasvi hai jo nit tapasya karda hai, count hai jo raj suba uthgar snan karda hai, count hai jo sab ras ugalta hai, or count hai jo sab ras kata hai. Raja bola, Surya isa tapasvi hai jo nit tapasya karda hai, Brahman raj suba uthgar snan karda hai, Indra Raja Versha Karuk main Sabras Ugalt Hain. Or Dardi Hai, the queen asked the third question, "What is it that no woman can do? What is it that cannot be immersed in the sea? What is it that cannot be burned in fire? And what is it that time cannot eat?" The king said, "A woman cannot marry her son. There is glory that cannot be immersed in the sea. There is righteousness that cannot be burned in fire. And the name is such a thing that time cannot eat." With the king's response and accuracy, while answering the questions, the princess was surprised and happy at the same time. She asked the fourth question, "What is it that in childhood is 30 grams, in youth is 4 grams, in old age is 60 grams, and after death there is no end?" The king said, "Listen, princess, the shadow of any object or person is the only thing that is 30 guy in the day, for guy in the afternoon, 60 guy in the evening, and ends in the night." The princess said, "You are right, my lord. Now answer my fifth question. What is it that always changes but never changes?" Raja Veersan said, "The princess is the law of change. Everything in the world keeps changing. But the truth never changes. That change is the law of the world. The one who understands this finds peace in the ups and downs of life. With the answers of Raja Veer Sen, the Princess Satyabhama is completely satisfied. Very good, Rajan. Now answer my sixth question. If everything is predetermined, i.e. our destiny, then what is the need to do karma? Answering the sixth question, Raja Veer Sen said, destiny and karma go hand in hand. Destiny is the fruit of our past karmas, but with the present karma we can change our future. If a farmer does not sow anything in his field and says that whatever is in destiny will happen, will he get food? No, he will have to work hard. He will have to sow seeds. Okay, you have to give water to the tree to get the fruit. Similarly, action is our effort, and luck is its result. To once again praise the king, Princess Satyabhama asked her seventh question. Who deceives the human being the most in this world? King Veer Sen replied, O princess, the human being is deceived by his own mind. Mind is the power that makes us believe in truth, untruth, fascination, and detachment, love, and hatred. The relationship between happiness and the sorrow. Man thinks that the outside world is deceiving him, but in fact, the outside world is just a mirror. What is in the mind appears in the world. King Versen's reply, said Princess Satyabhama. So well done, kingdom. Now answer my eighth question. If happiness and sorrow are both impermanent, then why is man so afraid of sorrow? And why does he want to hold on to happiness? King Veer Sen says, O princess, because man forgets due to ignorance that there is nothing permanent in the world. This world is changeable. Happiness and sorrow are like day and night. They complement each other. But man wants to hold on to happiness and avoid sorrow. Because when a man is happy, he feels that he has control over the world. He believes that his fate is good and everything is happening as he wishes. And everything will always be as it is. But this is his biggest delusion. In the same way, when sorrow comes, man loses control over himself. He feels that everything is being destroyed, whereas the reality is that sorrow is as permanent as happiness. Princess Satyabhama asks the ninth question. O king, is this world a reality or just a delusion? King Veer Sen said, listen princess, this world is permanent. Therefore, it cannot be called completely real. What is not permanent is a delusion. In Upanishads, it is said, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, which means Brahman is truth. This world is illusion. O princess, whatever we see, it is limited to only 5 senses. When we see a dream, it seems to be completely real to us, but when we wake up, it is just an illusion. Similarly, this world is also just a dream of waking state. Truth is that which is never destroyed, and it is only the soul and the supreme soul. Hearing the king's answer, Princess Satyabhama said, O king, if the soul and God are the truth, then why does man not remember anything from before his birth and after his death? King Veer Sen Rajkumari replied to Satyabhama's 10th last question, saying, O princess, because nature has given us the boon to forget, so that we can be free from the bonds of our previous births and live new experiences. If man had remembered his previous birth, he would have remained entangled in the joys and sorrows of his previous birth and would not have been able to live this life properly. The destruction of memory is the new creation, that is, when old memories are erased, a new life is possible. Some people can see a glimpse of their previous birth with deep meditation and meditation, but it is very difficult, or to put it this way, after death, the soul enters a new body and a new life begins. If man remembers everything, he never moves forward. The king gave the right answers to the 10 questions of Princess Satyabhama. Seeing this, Princess Satyabhama was very happy. She stood up from the chair and praised the king. And she said, I agree, king, you are very intelligent, but all my conditions have not been fulfilled yet. Now you will have to defeat me in the game of dice, king. King Veer Sen himself was a good player of dice. He said, okay, princess, I will try to fulfill your condition too. King Veer Sen and Princess Satyabhama's game of dice begins. Finally, the king defeated the princess in the game of dice. Princess Satyabhama went to her father and told him what had happened. King Vajrasen was very happy to hear this. He sent a minister and called King Veer Sen. He was very respectful. Virsen said, King, I have answered all your daughter's questions, and I defeated her in Chaussar too. Now send your daughter with me. Then King Vajraysan said, I will find an auspicious moment to marry my daughter and send her with you. Then King Virsen said, O king, I will not marry Princess Satyabhama, because she is someone else's property. Hearing this, King Vajraysan asked in amazement, What are you saying? How did you tell him about a stranger's possession? Then King Virsen said, Your Majesty, one of the princes who have been imprisoned by your daughter ran away from his imprisonment, and he was wandering around the jungle, abandoning his kingdom. One day he came to my kingdom and was sitting under a tree crying. Coincidentally, I also came out of there